844 ESPN 303-844-3776 if you feel like jumping in on this conversation that we are having this morning as we continue on. Brian Sanders, the official, or he's a spotter for Clint Schubert up at Colorado National Speedway, right? He's also works for NASCAR, K&N West, and the Wayland Modifieds. He's an official with them. Good morning, Brian. How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You're welcome.
Morning, Brian. So you are... it sounds like you're a jack of all trades. You've got a man of many hats.
Yeah, I stay pretty busy over the summer, that's for sure.
No doubt. So tell us all about it. What do you do specifically for NASCAR, K&N, and Wayland?
So I am a part-time official for them. I basically am the race director when I show up to the tracks. Race director is basically a air traffic controller of the race. So everything goes through me that goes on that racetrack. So when a caution comes out or doing lineups, things like that has to go through race control, and that's my specific job for that different race.
Wow. That's a lot of awesome responsibility.
Yeah, it's very nerve-wracking, but, it's part of the show. So basically, if a caution comes out, we get the caution out through the flagman, then dispatch the pace car, set the lineups, pit road, get the lucky dog around, and then get the show back going. The fans want to see green flag racing, so we try to make the cautions as short as possible.
And you and I were talking on the phone the other night that depending on the length of the track, that can be even more hectic for you.
Yeah, the Wayland Modified Tour, they run a lot of 3/8 and even quarter-mile tracks. So when you put 30 to 35 cars on a quarter-mile track, and they're strung out in single file, and you're responsible to get the pace car out in a safe manner, it's very nerve-wracking. Sometimes you make the pace car go into turn 3, or maybe sometimes you have to send them into turn 1 to get them out in front of the leader, and do it safely.
Wow. We're all cringing with that car count on that size of track, and you're responsible for it?
Yes, I'm actually responsible for all of that. And,
God bless you.
Look, we communicate with the spotters too. They're monitoring me. So when they're just watching their car, when the caution comes out, they blend over and they'll actually hear me on the radio. So I basically have the eyes and ears of all the spotters, and then we have a spotter official in the tower with the spotters also.
So is your title Admiral, or what is it?
No.
Goodness me. So what kind of prep time does that take to get ready for a race kind of track, when you're at a track?
A week in advance, I start doing the schedules. Mm-hmm. I've done, we do all the spotter communication meetings. We do the safety meeting. We do the rookie meeting. Then we do the driver owner meeting. So I have 5 different meetings throughout the day before we even go on track. Then you run practice, and then you run qualifying, and then you got to get ready for the race.
Wow. So that's a real qualified part-time job.
Yeah, in the last race I did, there's actually another race director with the Wayland Modified Tour, so I actually got to work pit road, and during the tech inspection, I did more of the safety aspect of it, which was kind of fun. You're checking seat belts, you're checking fire suit dates, shifter boot dates, tethers. So there's a lot more to it. We have 26 officials that make that show go, not only in the Wayland Modified Tour, but in the K&N West Series also.
That was my next question. How many people? Wow, that's a pretty awesome job that's really behind the scenes, and you don't see it. Other than you see it, you just don't know what it took to get there.
And then when you're done with that, you sit up in the spotters area at CNS or wherever, and you help Clint out.
Yeah, that's been a really fun time the last 3 years spotting for him. It was a lot tougher 2 years ago when we were just me and Clint, and I was trying to make the car go fast and be the spotter. So I went after a crew chief this year with Phil Leaflick. He's a proven track champion in many different divisions up there. So Phil's freed up a lot of time for me to do more of what I like to do with our sponsors and our Facebook page and our fans, and then just basically taking care of what Clint has to do on the track and at what time he needs to be in the car, practice and qualifying and things like that.
Well, we sure salute you guys for that. That's a big task to get done, and you're the ones that make everything run.
Yeah, and we really try to get the fans involved with our Facebook page at Schubert Racing. We try to give away tickets. We try to promote each track that we go to. I think that's very important to promote these racetracks, get the fans involved. We also invite our sponsors to the races, and we put a headset on them so they can listen to Clint and I on the radio during the race. So we do a lot more to get the fans and the sponsors involved instead of just having our sponsors just write a check.
I think that's really good.
Pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Now, really quick, how did you stumble into this career of being in the official? Were you a racer before this? Did you drive?
No, never a racer. I've always been. We used to make fun of me. I was the professional spectator 5 years ago. I've always
5 years.
I've always gone to racetracks. I've supported Colorado racing. You know, I've watched and grew up with the Rick Corellis, Roger Avance, followed Dominic Ursetta, Chris Eggleston's career with K&N. So I've just fell into the right place at the right time and got an interview with NASCAR 2 years ago at Phoenix. And things just kind of happened. I was actually just kind of going after an official's position, and they hired me as a part-time relief race director.
Wow.
So I've got to go to a lot of different tracks. Got to follow Chris Eggleston this year in the K&N series at California. I got to see him, obviously, at Colorado at CNS. But I've been to tracks in New York, Connecticut, New Hampshire. So I've seen a lot of cool tracks, a lot of history in some of these tracks. So it's been really exciting for me.
How do you see racing generally going in the small track area? It seems to me it's growing.
It is growing, and I've heard, talking about Rocky Mountain and things like that. That's why we try to promote the racetracks and get people involved and try to get people in the stands. I don't want to see these racetracks close. I think Schubert Racing is going to definitely try to make that journey to Rocky Mountain Speedway with the Lucas Oil Modified Tour just to get another racetrack on our bucket list off. We want to see these tracks stay open, and Clint's been good about racing in different divisions. We've ran a midget, we've ran a 305 sprint car, we've ran, asphalt. So, and he's got, his kids up and coming in the quarter midget world. So we're trying to support and grow the sport in many different aspects.
Well, that's pretty awesome. We've enjoyed your time with us. And what's coming up for you and Clint this year? Anything special?
Well, we're going to go watch the Winter Showdown and support the Colorado guys. I think there's 4 or 5 guys that are going to go run that 30,000 win show in Kern. And then right now I'm waiting on Colorado National Speedway's schedule to come out so then I can show my availability to NASCAR with that. And then we're definitely going to try and run hopefully 2 or 3 Lucas Oil Modified shows and then the full season at Colorado National.
Is Kern County a half mile?
Yeah.
It is? That's what I thought.
Big bank, fast. You'll probably see 40 or 50 cars try to make that show.
Wow.
Kyle Busch is already entered, Bubba Pollard, Derek Thorne, the Spears late model champion of last year. I think right now there's 3 that have officially signed up to go to that race from Colorado, and I suspect that we'll see 2 or 3 more.
Awesome.
That's an awesome job you're doing. It seems like things are accelerating, and you're pulling people together that would be kind of on the edge, and now they're in the middle.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of fans together that have never been to a track, and we give away tickets, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's helping increase the fan count at the different racetracks that we go to. So, once you go, I think, and see it live, I think the fans are really excited about watching racing live, and it's a fun thing to do on a Saturday night.
It sure beats watching it on TV.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Well, Brian, we appreciate you very much for your time. Thank you very much. This is a conversation we've never really had on our program before. We've never talked to a race director before, never got this type of insight. So I think a conversation, if we're ever to have like an extended 15, 20, 25-minute long conversation, I think it'd be one heck of a conversation to have with you. You've seen some pretty cool stuff, and I think the most high pressure jobs, especially in the environment that you're in, are probably the most fun and the most satisfying at the end of a shift.
Absolutely. It is a lot of fun, and just to see the show go on and support these tracks and fans is pretty amazing. I like what I do, and I get a lot of support from my family here. My wife's amazing. She really lets me do what I love.
There you go, buddy.
That's the best part about it is a supportive wife or girlfriend when what you're trying to do, what you're trying to do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Brian, thank you very much. Happy holidays to you, and we'll catch up with you soon, sir.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure is ours. Brian Sanders, he is the spotter for Clint Schubert up at Colorado National Speedway. He also works part-time with NASCAR, K&N West, also Wayland Modifieds official. My man does it all. That's awesome. Good stuff. A good conversation. Good pull, Ray. That was
Thank you.
a good conversation that we've never had here on this show. So
Exactly.
303-844-3776, 303-844-ESPN is the phone number here. Another 15 minutes remaining.